Hi everyone, this is Maria Banga here, and this is all about me keeping it real. I'm just from an airport run, packed with anxiety and nervousness and everything, and I live with post-traumatic stress disorder. So I also use my personal experiences to raise awareness about mental health, right? So my mother had to catch a flight this morning, and last minute she told me I was going to drop her off, right? And I was like, well, I have to do this for mommy. Although I started feeling my heart beat because I'm not someone who likes last minute things and stuff like that. So I took a Mambo, a chocolate bar. I like black chocolate. It helps me to soothe my nerves. I knew I was going to need it on my way back, but I just did not know how much anxiety and all of that I was going to experience. So there I am. I have dropped her, and I'm just smiling, and I'm like, well, she made it because it was so close, and the driving, she's the one who drove to the airport and everything. We don't do things the same. I'm on my way back now, and one of my fears is crossing the bridge. I don't like to drive on that bridge, especially when I am nervous and anxious. And so I was just praying. I said, God, let me just cross this bridge in one piece, God. Let me not have an accident, God. I was eating chocolate and everything, but I felt the anxiety rising, and I was trembling, and I was so scared I was going to hit the rail or hit the car and all of that. And I was like, who can I talk to now? Who can understand me? Only you, Father. Only you, Jesus. And that's how sometimes when we are going through stuff, people don't know it, and it's all there in our head, and the heartbeat is racing and everything. And then I crossed the bridge, and then there was traffic, and the cars were horning, and I was just like, and the bikes were coming on the same direction, and my head was aching, and my heart was beating, and I was like, Father, what has happened? My day was not planned this way, and I have to go to court today at 10 o'clock and all of that. I didn't want to cry. I said, Father, let me not cry, but it was like it was swelling up in there and everything. And I finally did an audio to my mother, crying and explaining everything to her, because we don't have to be ashamed to be vulnerable and to talk about it and all of that. And I hope it doesn't happen again. And there I am, my head is aching, and I'm just trying to drive and get home, the traffic, and then the children who are going to school, and you're just like, you are going to hit one of these children and all of those things, and you're like, Father, can you help me now? Can I just get home? And then you take your phone, you're trying to be distracted because there's traffic. So I don't know what I was saying in that building, but that's what I got, the picture. I just try to keep it real. That's the traffic, and I'm like, Father, help me. And you pray and you pray and you pray, and you cannot stop the car. I cannot park it. I just have to bring it back home. And sometimes you're like, oh, people know you are strong, you got this and all of that, and I tell people that too, but you have to do something. I ended up eating two bars of chocolate. I was praying. I thought about who I was going to reach out to. My baby sister talked about this morning, Nahela. She's a musician, and she praises God, and it's all about mental health too. So I knew that she would understand, and so I shared it with her too. And she was like, let it out, big sis. And that is exactly what I was doing. I just cried, and I just felt it all coming out with the tears. And you see, this is my formulation sheet. When I did my certification as a CBT therapist, we had to talk about ourselves, and I was honest to talk about my fears and to talk about how I feel about all of that and stuff like that. You don't normally share these things like this with the public, but if you don't share, people might not know, and they will keep holding you to some standard which is not yours. So I share these things with all vulnerability, because I want people to know that I peer all of that, but at times when I am just so vulnerable I go through stuff, I have all these emotions and everything, but that doesn't mean I don't have it, and that doesn't mean I don't know what to do. And so yes, I will end up with the song I sang this morning on TikTok. Do you have a reason to praise the Lord? I have a reason. He gives me all of this serenity.